And in today's episode, among other things, you'll see that by 2030, there will only be 5 types of jobs left here on this earth. The warning from Mo Galdot, the former chief executive officer of Google X, and another artificial intelligence expert about the end of human labor. Project Suncatcher, Google's plan to take its artificial intelligence into space and orbital data centers powered by the sun. Iron, the Chinese humanoid robot with synthetic muscles and an artificial intelligence brain, which will welcome humans in 2026. Aqua Womb, the artificial womb that promises to save premature babies and challenge the limits of human life. WalkMe, Toyota's robotic chair that walks, climbs stairs, and folds itself. Let's understand all of this. Hello, are you impressed? I'm Carlos Salves, and you're watching Incredible Reality. A breakthrough that seemed like science fiction just a few years ago is now reality. Wondercraft, a French company, received its second Food and Drug Administration approval for the Atlanti X exoskeleton, a major milestone that broadens the technology's use and redefines rehabilitation and human movement. Featuring a self-balancing design and artificial intelligence, the Atlanti X enables people with total or partial paralysis to stand, walk, and move again. All this without the need for crutches or manual support. Approval came just months after European certification, showing global recognition of the system's effectiveness and safety. The exoskeleton can now be used in cases ranging from C4 and L5 spinal cord injuries to strokes and multiple sclerosis, drastically expanding access to upright walking therapy. The secret lies in the fusion of engineering, robotics, and adaptability. Trained with billions of simulations and millions of steps in real environments, Atlanti X learns to adjust force, rhythm, and balance in real time, providing independent support to hips and knees. This allows for very precise control and a more natural movement, simulating the biomechanics of human walking. Over 100 rehab and research centers worldwide now use this exoskeleton, with patients taking over 1 million steps each month. Wondercraft raised $75 million in its Series D, aiming to boost production and launch a personal exoskeleton for daily independence. For millions of people who have lost their mobility due to injuries, strokes, or even degenerative diseases, Atlanti X represents more than just a medical device. It's the promise of regaining mobility, autonomy, and dignity. Why not? And maybe it's the first step toward a new era where robotics not only imitates our human body, but actually gives life back in a way that's, in a sense, normal. And the future of interactions between humans and machines is about to change for good. Xpeng, a Chinese company, unveiled its advanced second-generation iron humanoid robot, which I must say is impressive to see. Featuring 62 joints, 3 Turing chips, and a solid-state battery, it can walk, talk, and perform tasks precisely, closely resembling a real human. Unveiled at Artificial Intelligence Day 2025 in Guangzhou, Iron was designed to work in real settings, from stores to offices, interacting with people smoothly and, per the company, empathetically. At 1.78 meters tall and 70 kilograms, the robot blends strength and precise movement. Its so-called synthetic muscles mimic the function of human fibers, contracting and expanding to generate movements that are just as smooth and balanced. It really seems like it's not a robot standing there, but to make it clear that it actually is a robot, the company showed at least one of its legs as metallic, something mechanical. Take a look at this video, okay? Each hand's 22 degrees of freedom let it handle delicate objects and lift heavy boxes. Its curved, touch-sensitive screen displays dynamic expressions as the robot speaks, making interactions feel more natural and less mechanical. Inside, the intelligence, driven by 3 Turing chips processing 2.25 trillion operations per second, is a true powerhouse. And that's what, according to the company, gives Iron, open quotes, something close to contextual awareness, close quotes. It perceives, processes, and responds using the vision, language, and action system from Xpeng. What does that mean in practice? Well, the robot can recognize people, answer questions, fold clothes, guide visitors, or even assist with corporate and logistical tasks. But what really impresses is the way it moves. Iron learned to walk by watching thousands of hours of human videos, rather than using programmed movements. Its gait was refined until it moved almost like a natural one. Its feet have active cushioning and pressure sensors that adjust balance in real time, allowing it to walk on uneven surfaces and even reach speeds of up to 2 meters per second. The first commercial generation of Aeron will begin working in retail and customer service environments in 2026. Initially, it will greet customers and showcase products. The lightweight and safe solid-state battery ensures prolonged operation without overheating, an advancement that could become the standard in robotics in the coming years. And when it starts welcoming people in stores and businesses, maybe the most curious question won't be what it does, but rather how far we will go. After this robot was actually implemented, there are those who say or predict that the world will get much worse with the implementation of these robots. Focus on this next report here and you'll understand. Some top artificial intelligence experts say artificial intelligence will not only change work, it's that maybe work itself, the way we know it, will simply end, will simply no longer exist. Researcher Dr. Ramon Jampolsky, an artificial intelligence safety expert, discussed this during a podcast interview, which I'll translate the name of here. Diary of a Chief Executive Officer stated that by 2027, we may reach general artificial intelligence, that is, artificial general intelligence. Machines that can think, learn, and act better than humans in nearly everything. The impact of this on the job market would be devastating. Jampolsky describes a scenario of 99% global unemployment, where practically all physical and also cognitive activity will be automated. In 5 years, the researcher warns, all physical labor could also be automated. The result of this would be a world in which only a small group of professions would survive this extinction. But what would those jobs be? Jampolsky says only jobs where people prefer human touch are likely to survive. No, I'm not referring to what's often called the world's oldest profession. This is something different. He mentions 5 areas that, at least for now, seem to be safe. Professions that depend on personal trust, like accountants and high-level consultants. Warren Buffett, for example, wouldn't replace his human accountant with artificial intelligence regardless of its intelligence. The expert says it's due to relationships and tradition, not lack of capability. Manual and artisanal work that can become true luxuries. In an automated world, manual work could become a fetish for some people, he says. Handmade items like sculptures, furniture, or bread often cost more than mass-produced products. Therapists and human care professionals. While artificial intelligence can simulate empathy, the real emotional bond between people remains irreplaceable. Ian Polsk explains that only you truly understand your own experience, emphasizing the continued uniqueness of human subjectivity. The 4th group includes overseers and regulators of artificial intelligence itself. These are the humans who will ensure that machines make ethical and safe decisions for us. We will still need people to monitor and audit artificial intelligence until these systems can correct themselves, even temporarily. And finally, last but not least, he talks about a 5th group: educators, communicators, and artificial intelligence translators. In other words, people who are able to explain the technology to those who don't understand it, as well as helping companies adopt artificial intelligence without destroying everything, to show politicians, leaders, and the public what's really happening in artificial intelligence. Here's another reason to subscribe and check out the description. Even tech-savvy people will struggle to keep up with rapid changes, so we're going to need people who can bridge the gap between the human world and the world of machines. Combining this perspective with Mo Goldo's vision, former chief executive officer of Google X, makes the picture even more intense. Mo thinks that, unlike past tech revolutions, artificial intelligence won't create millions of new jobs to replace those it eliminates. Because if it replaces both our hands and our brains, what's left for us to do? These predictions, although alarming, expose an essential debate. What happens to an entire society when work stops being something necessary? It seems like working is bad, but it's not. It's something necessary for human beings. In a world of abundance created by machines, the challenge would no longer be just to survive, but to find a new purpose. Without work as life's center, humanity must redefine its identity. If his prediction is correct, 2030 could mark the end of the era of human labor. Look, am I going to complain, right? And you tell me down here? So, looking at what you see today at your future, do you think your job is much closer to being replaced? Or just joining that small group of functions that are done specifically, at least for now, for us humans? Let me know down below. It's proof the future is already here, my friends. In a laboratory in the Netherlands, a startup called Aqua Womb is developing something that could completely change neonatal medicine. A clinical-grade artificial womb can keep alive extremely premature babies, who currently have no chance of survival. The system works like a liquid incubator, designed to simulate the protective environment of the mother's womb. Instead of air, the baby remains immersed in a fluid similar to amniotic fluid, ideal temperature, and surrounded by a layer of silicone that reacts to their movements, helping the muscles and bones to strengthen naturally. This technology targets a dramatic problem: babies born between 22 and 24 weeks of gestation, who have very little chance of survival. Their lungs are not yet ready to breathe air, and mechanical ventilators, at least the current ones, can cause fatal injuries. AquaWomb's artificial womb is designed to fully prevent air exposure, allowing the baby to continue developing in a safe aquatic environment, as if they were still in the mother's womb. The concept combines biomedical engineering and advanced life support. The baby would be delivered by cesarean into a fluid-filled pouch and connected to an artificial placenta. A fist-sized device handles oxygen and nutrient exchange in the blood. Microtubes remove carbon dioxide and metabolic waste, while thin cannulas deliver oxygen and vital substances, thus recreating the exchange that normally happens inside the mother's body. If it works, this technology could save thousands of lives every year and drastically reduce the neurological and lung complications associated with extreme prematurity. A mother quoted by The Guardian expressed what many families felt: "I would have signed anything to have access to this technology." Researcher Elizabeth Chloe Romanis from Durham University says this technology raises deep ethical and philosophical questions. How is a baby developing outside the human body classified? And what rights or legal status does it have during that process? She concludes by saying that this type of device creates a new stage in human development, something we've never had to describe or regulate before. With 98 fully connected qubits, Helios marks a new era for practical quantum computing. And it's not just another lab prototype. It's an operational platform ready to solve problems that no classical supercomputer could tackle. Quantum's chief executive officer, Dr. Rajab Raza, says Helios perfectly blends hardware and software, made to simplify quantum programming like regular computers, with impressive results. Fidelity of 99.9975% in 1-qubit operations and 99.921% in 2-qubit operations. These are the highest values ever recorded commercially. Companies like SoftBank and Japan Morgan are already using this system in applied research, while Quantinum's engineers are exploring complex phenomena such as high-temperature superconductivity and quantum magnetism. Helios's secret is its new ion trap architecture, swapping terbium qubits for barium qubits. This change enables cheaper, more reliable visible light lasers and adds a mechanism to detect and fix errors at the atomic level. Helios used random circuit sampling, the same method Google used for quantum supremacy, and according to the company, matched a performance that would require more energy than the sun produces if done on classical machines. Another distinguishing feature is real-time control, which allows integration between quantum computing and classical computing, leveraging GPUs to accelerate hybrid algorithms. Of 98 physical qubits, 94 become logical qubits, creating one of the largest entangled quantum states observed. Google aims to bring computing to space. Literally, not metaphorically. With the Suncatcher project, the company proposes an unprecedented leap to build orbital data centers powered directly by the sun's energy, capable of running artificial intelligence models beyond Earth's energy and environmental limits. Announced this week, the project describes a constellation of intelligent satellites equipped with TPUs, which are tensor processing units, interconnected by ultra-high-speed optical connections and positioned in sun-synchronous orbits, where sunlight practically never goes out. The idea is to create a space artificial intelligence infrastructure that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with energy efficiency up to 8 times higher than the solar panels we have here on Earth. And yes, okay, you can go ahead and open the comment section here and talk about Skynet, that it's coming. Go ahead. Wow, that's such an old saying. It's not only for old people, it's just an old expression. The company document states that in the right orbit, a solar panel can be up to 8 times more productive than on Earth and produce energy nearly continuously. This means that instead of relying on large power grids and cooling systems here on Earth, these orbital data centers could operate without direct emissions, with an energy cost that's almost zero. The Suncatcher satellites would be small yet highly powerful. Each unit would contain TPU chips adapted for cosmic radiation, able to perform 3 million operations per second. These satellites would use optical links at tens of terabits per second to form an artificial intelligence mesh in Earth's orbit, a true space cloud. The first tests carried out in the laboratory have already demonstrated bidirectional transmission of 800 gigabits per second, thus validating the technical feasibility of interconnections between the satellites. Google plans to begin its first orbital test with Planet Labs by 2027, launching 2 prototype satellites to validate hardware and inter-satellite optical communication. The Suncatcher project is still early, but it stands as one of the boldest visions in modern computing, leveraging space to advance artificial intelligence. This will be the era of orbital artificial intelligence, where the sun powers not only life here on Earth, but also the digital minds that are beginning to emerge around it. Toyota amazed everyone at the Japan Mobile Show 2025 by unveiling the WalkMe, an autonomous robotic chair that walks, climbs stairs, balances, and folds itself. The concept breaks with the traditional idea of a wheelchair, replacing the wheels with 4 intelligent robotic legs capable of adapting to almost any type of terrain. The WalkMe, inspired by animal movement, uses advanced robotics, precise sensors, and artificial intelligence, creating a mobility system that mimics how goats and crabs move on rough terrain. Its legs bend, rotate, and adjust independently for balance and smooth movement on slopes, stairs, or gravel. The company says that before climbing the stairs, the front legs analyze the height while the back legs push the chair's body. LiDAR and weight sensors coordinate everything to ensure user safety. If an obstacle appears, the collision radars instantly stop movement. Then the system readjusts the center of gravity to prevent falls. The chair is powered by a compact, silent battery that is hidden behind the seat, with enough autonomy for even a whole day of use. If you like this episode and still have a job, comment if you'll lose it in 2027, 2030, or feel secure. This boosts the video's engagement. And I know you enjoyed technology since you always watch until the end. All the sources are in the description. Thank you so much for sticking with me until now, here or here today. I don't know where I'll put the comments. Maybe on both sides. Thank you for sticking with me until now, really. Thank you. Click on one of the 2 options that will appear on your screen. I'll see you in the next one. All right, thanks. Bye. Subscribe to Aria or risk your job. Seriously now, Aria is very important for you. Right now, the world is transitioning from the normal world we're used to the era of artificial intelligence. Description down here, okay?